What has contributed to your success so far? Whether it's watching something else, someone else, seeing how they work, liking their style, making mistakes, learning from them, belief in yourself, meditation. What do you think has kept you, I mean, you've been doing this, I'm sorry, with FYI 17 years? Okay.
15 years.
15 years?
Yeah.
And you'd been making films previously? Because you went to film school. You went to 2 film schools, right?
Right. No, I went to one, USC.
Oh, USC, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think's contributed to you staying in the game? Because not everybody stays with this. Some people could make one film, they go to Sundance, they win an award, and then either they can't find funding for the next project and they walk away, or they get tired of it. It's a lot of work. You're going to get beat up.
I think it's in my course of working with incarcerated youth, they've taught me the power of storytelling. It's really, really, really powerful. You know, just the story, for instance, of a young black man who was one of my students while he was at Camp Gonzalez made a film about him going home and his fear about his father rejecting him again. His father always rejected him, right? So he made a film about this young black man who goes home, and the mother is trying to make everything fine, but the father says, "Get out of here, I don't want you in this house. You're a juvenile delinquent. I don't want you here. I want nothing to do with you." So this protagonist has to go through being rejected yet again by his father, right? So this was after the film I talked about the mother who had substance abuse issues, right? And so we invited the family to see the film, and I told Antoine, I said, you have to tell your dad what the film was about, because it could make him really ashamed or uncomfortable. You can't just do this to your dad. So I talked to the dad, explained what it was. He said, yeah, whatever. I don't even want to go. I'm just going because my wife wants me to go. So he went, and he saw this very tearful film about a young boy who just would do anything to be accepted and loved by his father. The father was in tears. And I realized this is the power of film. But what's more beautiful about the story is that the mother called me a week later, and they went to family therapy to talk about this stuff. So,
wow.
So this is how authentic storytelling can lead to healing. Very interested in doing what I can to contribute to the well-being of humans, whether they're in Angola or Japan or the project itself. Film has that power. That the father and the son began a dialogue about how that relationship could be healed and repaired, all because he came up with this idea. So what keeps me going is stories like this, seeing how films and stories impact and heal people. That's what keeps me going.
Have you ever wanted to give up?
Yes, when they pulled the plug on my film in LA County probation, I was like, wow, I just had all these dark thoughts. But my alum called me, you know, from Mexico, saying I got deported, but I'm teaching filmmaking to incarcerated youth, and that kept me going again. So see, maybe I've lifted them when I'm with them, but they call me out of the blue sometimes and they lift me. Imagine that. So, and Adrian getting me to Stevie Wonder, I was like, oh, I'm never going to make this film. So there's an exchange. Yes, I'm teaching them about filmmaking, teaching them to think critically about their lives, but they're teaching me too. They're emboldening me. They're giving me permission to go outside of what I learned at USC, get more radical, and tell stories that have power because they're authentic. Tell stories that will hopefully challenge people to find a place of healing, you know? That's what keeps me going, because the impact powerful stories have on individuals.
You've written a script that you said was at Sundance. You were working on it at one of the labs. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's a Make the Moon, and it's about it's semi-autobiographical, but it's about a mother. I'm mixed race. My mother is Caucasian, and it's about a single mom who's Caucasian, and she has identical twin sons, and the father was not white, and she loves one twin. She loves him because he's good. I'm burning my own spot here. He's good in the arts. He's good at sports. He's very communicative. She loves him. She feels that he is going to be the first one in the family to go to college. The other son is involved in gangs, smoking weed, getting girls pregnant, and dropping, not showing up to school. The one that she really loves ends up tragically dying in an accident. And the surviving twin, she forces him to become the twin she loves. She said, you be your brother, then I can love you. But I said, I'm not doing that. It's a film about grief and about broken relationships. So it's intense.
You wrote it years ago?
Yeah, I wrote it about 9 years ago. And I've avoided it because it's too close to home. But I'm in a place now because I talked about my experience working with the Mountain Ute tribe and these very truthful conversations about our mortality. And my father was diagnosed with colon cancer 2 years ago. I went home on Christmas Eve and they had to take 90% of his colon out. And I had to change his dressing. So he had an incision from his belly button up here and I had to reach in. And that too I started thinking, I don't know, I'm not ready to lose my dad. Like, I don't want, even though I don't see things the way my parents do, I don't want to lose my parents yet. And I don't want to leave this place yet. But facing the possibility of my father dying made me think of my own mortality. Like, I got to tell these stories. I got to get this film done and get out of my phobic vortex about dealing with the truth and get this thing done. So as painful as it is, I was dwelling on how hard it is, but now I'm looking at how therapeutic it is. I'm going to be liberated when I tell the story, because releasing a story to the universe can be very, very, liberating. So I'm at a place now where I'm ready to get it done. As a matter of fact, I'm going to one of my funders to get a check for half the amount of the budget. So
Oh, wow.
I'm ready to do the film. And I'm glad I haven't done the film yet, because if I did the film earlier, it would lack truth and power because of what I went through. And I just think that you have to trust the continuum. And a lot of artists get into these dark spaces when we're not working, when we're not on the set, or we're not writing, or we don't have a deadline. I look at that time, my friend Alex Dorsey shared something with me. She said, in those in-between moments where you have downtime, you are preparing your chalice for future wine. That's a very healthy way of looking at it, right? You are preparing your chalice for future wine.